help, perhaps, from some other source than 2 attorneys in Pensacola, Florida.
One of the sticking points is that he just doesn't think he's making enough money for his efforts. Here comes Montell Griffin, who has shown loyalty to his manager, John Callaware, just in front of him there. Callaware is the man with the glasses on holding the belt. When Callaware angered Eddie Futch, and Futch, in his response to that, threatened to leave, Montell Griffin did nothing to try to get Futch to stay, and in fact said to him basically, I support Callaware. So Eddie Futch left, and his longtime second-in-command, Del Torrance, became the head trainer for Montell Griffin.
Now, this is all about money. When some fighters get into the bigger money, they start to watch it a little bit more carefully. He will clear about $1 million tonight, and Roy Jones will clear about the same as far as the guarantees are concerned.
And the record for Montell Griffin, 27 wins, no losses, 18 KOs. Most of the opponents you would never have heard of. But he does have 2 victories over James Toney, as opposed to the 1 victory over Toney which Jones carries. And of course he has the disqualification win over Jones. Let's go up to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the pre-fight introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, Square Ring Incorporated, along with your undisputed, undefeated King of Beers, Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Present 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the scoring for this bout will be done by the judges assigned at ringside. Scoring it on a 10-point must system, they will be Tony Castellano, Richard Flaherty, and Tommy Kazmarek. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, working in his 131st world title bout, a member of the Boxing Hall of Fame, Arthur Mercanti. And now, from the world's largest resort casino, Foxwoods of the Mashantucket Pequot Tribal Nation of Connecticut, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black and weighing in at 175 pounds. This Olympic silver medalist has a professional record of 31 victories, 29 by knockout with only 1 defeat, and 3 world titles. Tonight, he plans to reverse that 1 blemish on his record. Ladies and gentlemen, from Pensacola, Florida, here is the challenger, the 3-time world champion, Roy Jones Jr. And his opponent across the ring, in the blue corner, wearing red trimmed with black, his weight 174 pounds. He brings a perfect professional record of 27 victories without a loss, including 18 by knockout. Tonight, he plans to show the world, by way of a true victory, that he deserves the title he now holds. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois, presenting the undefeated WBC Light Heavyweight Champion of the World, Montell Ice Griffin.
Give them a signal right here.
All right, good evening, gentlemen. You both know the rules of the World Boxing Council. I will not tolerate any kidney punching or any back in the cervix area. Is that understood? Shake hands now. Good luck to both of you.
The general consensus before the first fight is that Griffin was simply more trash than Roy Jones compactor. Roy Jones is a 5-to-1 favorite to prove that that was true the first time. It will be true again the second time.
And of course, Griffin believes that he thrives and will continue to thrive on being underestimated. Jones lands a solid left hook to start the fight.
Let me tell you, that first left hook hurt Griffin.
And so does the second one. And Mercanti calls it a knockdown, saying that only the ropes kept Griffin up.
It's very apparent that Jones is coming out stronger this time. We didn't see this from him for many rounds in the first fight.
So now Griffin, hoping in the back of his mind that Jones, by being so aggressive, will create opportunities for him. Montell's a classic counterpuncher. Jones is looking for a first-round knockout. He's not trying to set anything up with the jab, just firing power punches.
Very important that Roy Jones keeps his right hand up as he throws those left hooks, because he's wide open for a counter hook.
That's what Griffin is looking for, although he hasn't really fired in return yet.
That's the first one he stopped.
Let's go.
Roy has had a reputation of not taking chances, not wanting to get hit. He is taking chances, sticking his chin out there now.
The one thing about Roy Jones, you're going to land those big shots early in the first round. Go back to the body to make sure that this guy is not able to get his second win on you later on.
Griffin shying away from the left hook feint there. Obviously, and for good reason, extremely cautious now about Roy Jones's left hook leads. Jones lands another left hook there. Griffin starts to look for counter opportunities, but still very much on the defensive with 50 seconds to go in round number one. Huge round for Roy Jones so far.
Well, Roy Jones is playing the feinting game, and Griffin is benefiting by it. Whoa, what a left hook. What a left hook.
Second knockdown of the round.
That was a leaping left hook, and Griffin may not survive it.
He's got trouble. And that's that. Jones gets his vindication via a first round knockout.
And it was a left uppercut.
Unbelievably quick left hand shots. A barrage of them in round one by Jones. And he finishes off Griffin with a half hook, half uppercut, a la Oscar De La Hoya, that landed on the button.
You know, the good thing about Roy Jones, you talk about the lack of a left jab. He sees his targets. He doesn't need a jab. He's quick enough to go there without even taking a jab.
I never thought I would ever hear you say of a fighter that he doesn't need a jab.
When you've got that kind of quickness, hey, look, as long as you got the quickness, you don't need to throw anything beforehand. He doesn't need a jab. I'll never say it again either. This is well deserving. No one has done that to Griffin before.
This is several months of anger and frustration being vented all at once in public by Roy Jones. He couldn't have written for himself a more satisfying fight script than this one.
Well, this is what a champion does. There have been a few occasions in boxing history when champions have lost their titles on disqualifications and have come back to regain the title, to assert their championship caliber, and that's exactly what Roy Jones did tonight.
This reminds you of Joe Louis's revenge against Max Schmeling because of the emotion that Roy brought to it.
Yeah, this was the most important fight of Roy Jones' life. In his mind now, this will wipe out what happened last March.
And I think in the minds of most boxing fans as well.
I agree.
I can't remember the last fight.
All right, here's the first punch of the fight that hurt Griffin. That was the very first left in the fight. Now here the first knockdown. right on the button.
It's about not recovering.
And he put the left glove down on the canvas, so Mercanti didn't need to use the rule regarding the ropes. He had a knockdown on the basis of the fact that Griffin puts this left glove right on the canvas, right there.
Wise decision by Arthur Mercanti.
And a good call.
Not many referees would have had that kind of courage, you know.
But he properly spotted that Griffin put his glove on the canvas. Could have ruled it a knockdown on the basis of the ring ropes holding Griffin up, too.
Mistake by Griffin to try and punch with a true puncher.
End of fight here.
There was that leaping left uppercut.
Another look at the punch that finished it. He landed that flush, and you saw Montell trying desperately to get up, but he just couldn't get his legs underneath.
Oh, no, that hook or the uppercut bent his neck backwards, down the spine. You don't want to get up from those shots. Come back another day.
No longer unbeaten, Montell Griffin, with shocking suddenness and with shocking ease, Roy Jones gets his revenge, and he feinted there, and Griffin left himself open for the punch.
You know, it's strange that Roy Jones would have that kind of power at that weight class. This guy is capable of being a good heavyweight.
So you don't think that he's completely off his rocker when he talks about fighting the Holyfields and Moores of the world?
No, you pack on that kind of weight and keep your quickness and power, he can go up.
How high would he have to go? 205, 210?
If he can get to be 200 pounds, that's all he needs just to establish himself as I am a big man. The rest he has.
At 200 pounds, would he ever be a threat to be heavyweight champion of the world?
Great threat, because he's fast. Hey, when you've got speed, the other things, they just come to you.
And so you think the punching power would go up with him as well?
No doubt about it, because you get the right conditioner, you get you in a proper shape, you get the proper sparring. He can do it. I was shocked that he could do that to this guy who's fought guys 180 and 185 pounds throughout his career, Griffin has.
What about trying to take punches from punchers like Moore and Holyfield?
I'd like to see one of those guys try and hit Roy Jones. I don't think it can happen. Now you see me, now you don't.
Might not be able to find him. All right, let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Arthur Mercanti calls a halt to the bout at 2 minutes and 31 seconds of round number 1 following knockdown number 2. The winner, now a 4-time world champion, and once again the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
Final punch stat numbers. Roy Jones landed 12 punches. They were all power shots, and it was about 12 too many for Montell Griffin.
That Griffin is brave. Knock down, get up, try it again.
Well, he believes in himself, has a lot of pride. He thinks he's every bit the fighter Roy Jones is, but that was not the case tonight. So let's go up to Larry Merchant with the winner and repeat champion.
All right, Roy, congratulations. I suppose you do feel redeemed by what happened.
Well, first of all, I'd take this time out to thank God for giving me the opportunity to keep my head together and come out and do what I did. Thank everybody in Pensacola. Roy Jones still #1 and gonna be that way, baby. For all these doubters, him and all the rest of them that think Roy Jones is a fluke, now they know. Now, back to where I am. I am redeemed. I deserve to be back pound for pound #1 because I am. It's just like that. I don't even want to hear nothing else. I should be pound for pound the best. When somebody come beat the best, it's fine. I thank God. I thank Montell. He gave me the opportunity to go back and pick up my stuff and come back in here with the Roy Jones attitude. I didn't want to have to do this, but they made it.
Why didn't you want to have to do this?
Because I don't like trying to hurt people. No, not I was out here trying to hurt that kid. If I would have got a chance to, I would have killed that kid by mistake. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that. That's not my intention. My intention is to come out here and do good things and be done with it. That's why I don't like that old Roy Jones. You don't want to pull the RJ out. I don't want to see the RJ.
Did you need this kind of incentive to bring out 105% of yourself?
Didn't I just say that? That's what it takes sometimes. You take something from me, I'm coming to get it back. I don't care. If you take it from me dishonestly, I'm coming to get it back. Now, if you beat me, we had a good night. I'm still going to come get it back. But if you take it dishonestly, I'm coming to get it.
All right, so you came out here with a totally different intention
You
than
saw
you
it.
did the first fight.
You saw it. I went out here to box to give y'all no show, and I ain't want to give you too much to criticize me about. I had to come on and do my thing. You understand? I ain't gonna let you talk. I did the talking tonight. Roy Jones, Pensacola, we talked tonight. The Gulf Coast, Mississippi, all that area, we talked tonight. The best man fight, the best fight in the world, pound for pound, I talked tonight. Understand what I'm saying? I don't want to hear nothing else. All that rumors you hear about me and my organization breaking up, me and my organization gonna stick together to the end. I just got two organizations.
All right, you just brought that up yourself, Roy. There have been reports in the newspapers that you are going to change your management. Is there any truth to it?
Don't believe the hype. They take a story because they couldn't get me to talk, because they couldn't make me act ignorant. I went out, somebody else just said a few things to me about other things I was doing. They took that and combined it with something they didn't even know nothing about and made a story, okay? It doesn't happen that way. Roy Jones is real.
You've been saying recently that you want a big megabuck fight or you will retire.
And that's the other quote he used to mess up the article. If I don't get a big mega fight, what's the sense of me hanging around, have stuff like this happen? There was no need for this, you know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have to come here to try to go at that guy and try to do that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I feel bad for him now because it's embarrassment to him in a way, and he has a family too, you know? I'm not that kind of guy.
Are you saying that you really don't want to fight this way anymore?
Nah, I'm going to do what I had to do, Larry. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to do my thing. I was taught to do my thing, understand? Let me tell you something. Between Coach Merck and my father, them are two of the hardest great guys you ever want to meet, understand? How do I remain nice and all that? I don't know. Coach Merck and my father, both Vietnam veterans, they want to kill. They want to kill all day, every day, anything. They don't care what it is. How I get the nice attitude, I don't know. But I got to have some niceness in order to be able to deal with what all they taught me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm a nice guy. I will do what I have to do to win. I'm going to win. I'm going to reign supreme. And,
all right, you want the
congratulations, Nate.
You want the acceptance of the public. You want to be a star. You want to make the big bucks. But if it takes doing this, fighting like this to get that, are you willing to do this?
Well, who's going to stand up under that kind of heat, though, Larry? Who you going to find to stand up under that kind of heat right there? If I do that, who's going to stand up a one round, what, they going to give me that kind of credibility for one rounders? If I find somebody that can stand up and take that, then that's what I'll do.
All right, so there are several light heavyweight opponents out there who have been suggested as your next opponents. You have talked, however, about fighting a Holyfield, who was once a light heavyweight, and about fighting a Michael Moorer, who was once a light heavyweight. Is that your goal now, Holyfield or Moorer?
Well, I'm going to tell you why I said Holyfield. And there's nothing against Holyfield. I really don't want to fight Holyfield because I don't dislike Holyfield. I really like Holyfield. Holyfield is really a good guy. But when you watch things happen like what's been happening in the boxing world, the thing with Mike Tyson, the thing with the other guy who got disqualified. Akawanda. The thing with Bruce Seldon, how he went out and didn't even try to fight Mike, just took a dive. All that stuff looks bad on boxing. What I want to do, and what I was saying, is that for me to come back and Holyfield have this opportunity, since we're both at the top of our game, to do something that hasn't been done in 30-something years. A former middleweight champion come up and challenge the heavyweight champion. That's a big event. Roy Jones versus Evander Holyfield, a terrific fight. Everybody out there I know would want to see it because I would want to see it. Now, it'll be tough, and it's a lot of sacrifice on my part, and that's why I haven't really made my mind if I really want to do that, because it's tough to fight big guys and not be able to get them off you because you won't hit hard enough to get them off you. You got to run. It would take a lot of dedication. I could do it if I put my mind to it and say I'm going to do it. I'm going to go out there and try to win the fight. But other than that, I wouldn't really take the risk because it's not worth it. The only reason I'm willing to do that is to save the sport of boxing and to help the American athlete in all perspectives, to clean up what was done. Everybody got a raw deal in that fight where they pay all their money to see. They got a raw deal tonight because I came up with a bad attitude. They only got one round. But to straighten out all that, only heavyweight I would do that would be Evander, because he's the only guy nice enough to understand that.
Just one thing, Roy. People don't mind a one-round fight when somebody puts out what you did and shows what you did.
Well, thank you.
They'd rather see a great half-a-round fight than a boring long fight.
If I'm in here 30 seconds, you're going to get yourself a good fight. You better believe that.
Thank you very much, Roy Jones. Back to you, Jim and George.
Shortly after his conversation with the jubilant and triumphant Roy Jones, Larry Merchant found the stunned and disappointed loser, Montell Griffin, in his dressing room.
Montell, we knew you knew that, or felt that he would come out really fast. Were you ready for how fast he came out?
Well, I just want to say this. I knew he was going to come out fast. There's no excuses. He beat me. I don't have no excuses, but I didn't get a chance to warm up. I mean, they came and told me one time. And as soon as I get my hands wrapped, they said, let's go get in the ring. So I got in there cold. That's why I was trying to keep moving around, not get caught with a clean shot, because I knew he was going to come at me fast, but he caught me in a little hurt, so I just tried to keep moving. I tried to, catch him with something just to slow him down a little bit, but I mean, ain't no excuse. He beat me. I wasn't warm, but I mean, ain't nothing I could do about it.
The first time he laid some leather on you, it seemed high on the right side of your head. Did that stun you? It didn't look like a hard punch.
No, it just basically just stunned me, and it got me to the point where it woke me up a little bit, so I was just trying to keep my eyes open. He was reaching with his right hand, so I was trying to pull back and catch him with something. But things just didn't go my way. I mean, I don't have no excuses. I don't have nothing bad to say about the man. I don't have nothing to say about the fight. I came in, at least I trained to try my best. I just, you know, when I got in the ring, I wasn't the way I wanted to be. But who, you know, 10 years from now, who cares? Nobody remember that anyway.
Give us your assessment of him as a fighter now that you've been in with him twice. The first time, maybe he tried to box with you and you had a virtually even fight. This time, he tried to redeem himself. What is your assessment of Roy Jones?
Well, I just want to say I'm glad I got the opportunity to fight the man. He's a great fighter. If he go down in history, I can tell my kids I fought the man. I mean, I'm going to sit down and think about what I'm going to do next. But, I mean, the man's a good fighter, but it wasn't nothing I was worried about or scared about. I know I can outbox the man. I know I can punch with the man. I trained harder this time, but like I said, I mean, no excuses. It just
didn't work out. All right, we're going to take a look at the first round with you and like to see it from your perspective of what exactly happened. And just tell us how you were thinking coming out, what you saw.
I was just trying to move around just so I could warm up. You know, I tried to keep my hand up because I knew he was going to leave the left hook, and he caught me. The first left hook he threw, and it kind of just woke me up a little bit. So I was just at the point where I was just trying to move backwards. When he was reaching with the right hand, I was just trying to, you know, we trade left hooks. He hits me and I fall back, you know. So, I mean, just nothing didn't go my way.
All right, but did you still have your equilibrium? Were you buzzed? How did you feel at this point? Were you okay to fight?
At this point, I was all right, but, you know, I had been hurt a little bit. I was just trying to get to the point of getting warmed up. Just catch him with a good shot just to slow him down some. That's all. I mean, I'm bone dry. I'm just trying to, you know, move around. He was reaching with his right hand, so I was just trying to spin him. I'm just trying to make him, you know, pay when he missed. And, you know, I just couldn't catch him with a good shot like I wanted to. You know, I was hitting with the man, you know, left hooks and everything, but I just couldn't get on.
You did hit him a couple of good shots, but he seemed to shake them off.
Right. Well, I guess he was determined, you know, to come at me and redeem himself, but, I mean, you know, like I said, it was a crazy world. Different things happen.
Did you feel that if you could weather this onslaught, if you could get past this period, maybe for 1 or 2 rounds, and frustrate him, that would have been your fight?
That's all I wanted to do. My coach, you know, my trainer, you know, he was kind of worried because he knew I wasn't wrong. You know, so when we was coming out, HBO, I mean, TBK or whoever was grabbing us, trying to make us go to the ring. We was trying to stay back and warm up, but we knew we wasn't where we wanted to be, but we just tried to weather the storm just to, you know, be able to warm up and be able to, you know, fight our fight.
I mean, but right now you're okay at this point.
I'm okay. But like I said, the man came out strong, caught me with a shot. I leaned down and he caught me, like, it wasn't an uppercut, but it caught me on the bottom of my head where I didn't see it. So he caught me, you know, with a clean shot, and nothing I can say about it.
He hadn't shown much of an uppercut in the fight with you before, had he?
But I guess it went up under my glove, and I bent down and slipped, and I just couldn't see it. Basically, like I said, I'm just trying to weather the storm, just right there. Just trying to get to the, you know, second round, just to warm up, just to get in the fight, that's all.
Well, the first round can be the hardest when you're in with a hard puncher.
Right, sure. Well, we knew he was going to come out fast. We knew it wasn't no secret or nothing. Just wasn't at the position where we wanted to be. Like I said, no excuses. I trained hard. I tried my best. I just want to say I'm sorry to my man Theo Torrance because we went through this together, and we just had, you know, high hopes, and I just felt real good about this. But we went in there and things didn't go our way, and just got to move on with my life.
Thank you very, very much, Montell Griffin. Jim?
A final summary. In a devastating first-round display, releasing 4 months of pent-up anger and frustration, Roy Jones used a barrage of lightning left hooks to knock Montell Griffin off balance and then out in the rematch of their controversial disqualification bout this past April. And in doing so, Jones won back not only his light heavyweight title belt, but to the satisfaction of most ring critics, his mythical title as world's best pound-for-pound fighter as well.